My name is Celina, and I am currently studying law at the U of A, and I also did my undergrad at the U of A in business, and I went to Melbourne, Australia on my internship. And so after I graduated, I wanted to go somewhere far away just to have a different type of experience after school, because I've been here my whole life, so I just wanted something a little bit different. So that's when I decided to apply to an internship, and I wasn't too picky about where I was going. I just wanted something different and a change and to meet different people, so that's why I applied to AIESEC. So in Australia, I went to Melbourne and I was working for an environmental company. It's a not-for-profit company called Earthwatch, and I was their marketing assistant there. So I also have my undergrad degree in marketing, so that was very fitting. So what I would do is I would do a lot of press releases for them, media releases. I would write their news articles, would update their websites and that type of thing, and then do a lot of promotional work, so lots of events and meeting different kinds of people, interviewing scientists, all sorts of different stuff. So that was my internship. It was mostly what I expected. It wasn't really a big culture shock or anything, just because it's kind of similar to Canada, but in terms of the environment, it was really, really awesome. And the people were really, really friendly, and the weather is awesome. Yeah. It was just a cool place. There's lots to do, and there's lots of places that you can travel to, even on the weekends and whatnot, because it's so close by. So that's what I really liked about the country. Yeah. I think you really had to be persistent about finding a position, just because it was really limited. If you wanted to do volunteer ones, there was obviously more of that, but if you wanted a paid internship or something that you wanted direct experience from, like something more detailed, I guess, in that way, that's more catered towards a degree, you might have to be more persistent in finding something. I applied for about 4 months maybe, and then I got something, so it wasn't too hard or too difficult, and the process was pretty easy because they were really helpful at AIESEC on both ends, from the people in Australia and the people here as well. I did a lot of research actually, because I didn't want to be too surprised when I got there, just because there's so much going on, you're in a different country. So I did look up things like how much things would cost, how much I would need, the living situation, and just transportation, that type of thing. So I looked it up for the different countries that I was interested in, and then I went along with that. They were extremely helpful. So there was airport pickup, they helped me find my place. They did help with the visa process too as well, so they were really, really communicative. And I pretty much hung out with them almost every day, so they're really cool people, so they're really helpful. That's definitely awesome. Recommend communicating with them once you're there. I kind of ran into apartment difficulties, so I would actually recommend, if you can, to go, because some of the people in the local community, they might offer you a place to stay for a while until you find a place. But as for me, I actually went and found my place when I was like over here. So I found my apartment online. So I would definitely recommend actually going there to look at your apartment, because you're going to be there for like a year or something. So you want a place that you actually like. So I think I kind of ran into problems there. The rent was quite expensive, and there was a lot of extra costs behind it. Yes, and so it wasn't the best place, but then eventually got out of it and everything was fine. But I would definitely recommend researching and actually going there to find your place. I think with anywhere that you go, I guess, it is still unfamiliar to you, just in terms of traveling and transportation, that type of thing. So the transportation system I thought was kind of different. They use trams and we use buses, and there's lots of trains, and I'm not really used to that as much, considering our LRT is kind of small here. So just adjusting to getting to know where everything is, I think that's a little bit different. Getting used to where to buy groceries and where to go to the bank and that kind of stuff, but other than that, I don't think it was terribly different. I think the people was definitely a highlight, just in terms of meeting an incredible amount of people, and from people from all over the world. And right now I still talk to the people that I hung out with, made all these friends, and even people from Canada, I made friends with them over there. So I think that was definitely a highlight with going on an internship. And just discovering different things, different cultures, getting out of your comfort zone, and doing fun things that you otherwise normally wouldn't do. Probably their local bar scene was really, really good. They really enjoy going out and dining out and that type of thing, so I think just being downtown, being in the city, that was probably my favorite thing to do. And also the beaches, because you have to take advantage of that since we don't have any here. So the beaches were awesome. I think I would definitely go back there in a heartbeat. So also once I was there, I got to travel to the Great Barrier Reefs, so that was something that I would definitely want to go back to. Probably get into the food scene in Melbourne because it's really awesome. They have a huge coffee culture there. And also get into the music scene there because their music festivals are really, really cool. So just not to just focus on the internship, but to do things outside of it and to really get out of your element and travel. So save up your money and travel because while you're all the way over there, you might as well do it. Yes, I definitely do think so because there's a lot of communication kind of work in what I did, so that would apply to anything that I do. And especially studying law right now, I have to work with a lot of people, work in a team, so all that is really, really good for that. And I'm also interested in international law, so working with people globally is definitely helpful. I would definitely recommend it to other students. It's a good way to even apply to an internship to get abroad because a lot of the times if you want to do an internship and go abroad you have to pay really, really hefty fees for it, and sometimes it's just beyond what a student can afford. So I think AIESEC was a really good opportunity they have a really small fee but they have really, really great opportunities to work that you probably otherwise wouldn't normally come across.